समाज भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the Assembly Lord. All glories to the Assembly. Thank you very much.
feeling empty all the time because you might have lost your most intimate friend, Lord Krishna. Oh, my brother Arjuna, I can think of no other reason for you becoming so dejected.
Krishna was the intimate friend of Arjuna, and not only to Arjuna, all the Pandavas. So they cannot tolerate separation from Krishna. This is the sign of Krishna devotion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that I have no love for Krishna. That verse, and if I forget, Na prema gandhasti. So you have no love for Krishna, you are always crying for Krishna, and still you say you have no love for Krishna. No, I am crying just to make a show. Actually, I am not devotee of Krishna. Why? Because if I could have been a devotee of Krishna, how could I live without him? I have not died still, that means I have no love. This is the sign of love, that a lover cannot live for a moment without being associated with the beloved. This is a sign of love. So this love can be appreciated only between Radha and Krishna, or between the gopis and Krishna, not otherwise. Actually, we do not know what is the meaning of love. It's like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Asishva padartang pinastumam marmahatang karotuba adarsana yatha tatha va vidudhati lampata matprananathasti saivana jugaitam nimishena chaksusha pravishayitam sunnaitam jagat sarvam govindam virahena. Govinda viraha means separation. When Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was playing the part of Srimati Radharani, Krishna, when he could not understand himself, Krishna is unlimited. He is so unlimited that Krishna himself cannot understand. That is unlimited. The unlimited cannot understand about his unlimitedness. Therefore, Krishna took the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, and that is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That picture is very nice. Krishna taking the ecstatic love of Radharani appears as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanna. So by worshipping Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you simultaneously worship Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna is very difficult to worship. So whatever we are worshipping Radha Krishna, that is Radha Krishna in his Narayan form, Lakshmi Narayan. In the beginning we should worship Radha Krishna in the level of Lakshmi Narayan with awe and veneration, very strictly following the rules and regulations. Otherwise, Radha Krishna in Vrindavan the devotees, they do not worship Krishna because he is God, but they worship Krishna, not worship, it is above worship. It is simply a love. It is like loving your lover. It does not mean worship. It is spontaneous, heart's business. So that is the Vrindavan position. So, even though we are not on the high standard of the Vrindavan level, still, if we do not feel separation of Krishna, then we must know that we are not still perfect devotee of Krishna. That is what is. Feeling separation. Therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj would understand that Krishna is no longer on this planet, and therefore he saw so many inauspicious symptoms. Now when Arjuna came back, he was asking, why you are so morose? Have you done this, have you done that? Now he is concluding, I think your so great moroseness is due to separation from Krishna as I was feeling. Kachit preshtatama. Preshtatama, this is superlative. As in English language there is positive, comparative and superlative. Even in Sanskrit, prestha is positive, preshtatara is comparative, and preshtatama is superlative. Krishna is the preshtatama, beloved in the superlative degree. Kachit preshtatame na atha preshtatamena hridayana atmabandhuna. Atmabandhu, Suhit, in Sanskrit there are different terms. Atmabandhu, Suhit, Bandhu, Mitra, they all mean friends but of different degrees. Different. Mitra means ordinary friend. As we have got, he is my friend. That does not mean he is my intimate. So the best friend is Suhit. Suhit means without any return. If you think of somebody, how he will be happy. That is called Suhit. So, Hridayana Atmabandhuna. Krishna was always thinking of Arjuna. And that is the relationship. Krishna says, Sadhama Hridayam Mayam. As the devotee always think of Krishna. Similarly, Krishna also thinks of you. He thinks more. That is the reciprocation. Jathamang prapadanti, tam tataivo yama. If you think of Krishna 24 hours, Krishna will think of you 26 hours. Krishna is so kind. If you do some service for Krishna, Krishna will reward you 100 times. But people do not want. They think, what we shall benefit by serving Krishna? Let us serve my dog. This is the misunderstanding. And our attempt is to have the dormant love of Krishna. Everyone has got love. The stock of love is there. But it is being misused. They do not know where to place that love. So that, because they do not know, therefore they are frustrated. Therefore they are frustrated. So, our Krishna consciousness movement is simply to educate people that you are loving, you are mad after a appropriate lover who can love you also, but that you cannot find out within this material world. That you will find out when you love Krishna. That is our Krishna consciousness. It is nothing very superfluous or concocted. Everyone can understand that I want to love somebody, hankering. But he is finding frustration because he does not love Krishna. This is all. Only if you turn your loving spirit to Krishna, then you will be fully served. Jinatma samprasid suprasid. We are trying to peace of mind, to have peace of mind, full satisfaction. That full satisfaction can be achieved only when you learn how to love Krishna. This is the secret. Otherwise you cannot. Because you want to love and get satisfaction. That is completed when you come to the platform of loving Krishna. So these Pandavas, they are also on the level of loving Krishna. Everyone is on the platform, but it is the difference of degrees. The same love. Somebody is loving his family, somebody is loving his wife, somebody is loving his society or friendship, society, friendship, they say divinely. But the ultimate point of love is when you come to Krishna. So we pumsang paro dharma. Dharma means duty. That is dharma. Or the characteristic. Dharma does not mean the religious fanaticism. No. That is not the Sanskrit meaning. Dharma means the real characteristic. I have several times explained that the water is liquid. That is the eternal characteristic of water. When water becomes hard, that is not eternal characteristic of water. Water is by nature liquid. Even when the water becomes hard, just like ice, the tendency is to become liquid again liquid. So our real position, conscious position is to love Krishna. But now we have become hard-hearted, not to love Krishna. Just like water becomes hard, ice, on account of some circumstantial position. When the temperature is very low, the water becomes hard. Similarly, if we do not love Krishna, then our heart should be harder and harder and harder. Heart is there for love. But why you are so hard-hearted? Why you are so much hard-hearted that we kill another fellow being or another animal? We do not care for it, for my satisfaction of the tongue, because we have become hard-hearted. Hard-hearted. On account of not being a lover of Krishna, we are all hard-hearted. Therefore, the whole world is unhappy. But if you hridayana, Prabhupada said, preshta samayana atha hridayana atmabandhuna. If you love Krishna, who is our real friend, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sridhamu sarvabhutana. So, when you actually become a devotee of Krishna, because the Krishna's qualities are there within you, although in small quantity. So, you also become Sridham Sarvabhuta. Sridham Sarvabhuta means friend of all living entities. Sridham. What is the business of Vaishnava? Vaishnava business is to become compassionate with the persons who are suffering materially. This is Vaishnava. Therefore Vaishnava's description is Manchakalpatarubhascha kripasindubhayo patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo. Patitanam pavanebhyo. Patita means fallen. All living entities being fallen in this material condition, they are all suffering. The Vaishnava sympathy is there. Actually there is any sympathizer for the fallen conditioned soul, he is a Vaishnava. He knows how, why they are suffering. Therefore he wants to give it the information. My dear friend, you are suffering simply for forgetting your real lover, Krishna. Therefore you are suffering. This is the message, Vaishnava's message. For this message, Krishna comes himself as the supreme law. He also says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sarvam. Your loving propensity has been distributed in so many things. But you are not happy. Because if you don't love Krishna, whatever you do in the name of so-called love, you will commit sinful life. Disobedience. For example, if you are disobedient to the state laws, that means your all activities are sinful. You may color it, this is very nice, but that is not. Nature, because you are servant of Krishna. Jiven Sarupa Nitya Krishna Das. Your eternal position is to serve Krishna. So, without this knowledge, whatever service you are going to render to somebody else, and that is simple. There is the same example. If you don't obey the state laws and you become a philanthropist, we have seen in India, when there was independence movement, not only in India, in every country, there was independence movement, many persons were hanged, condemned to death. But he was a great lover of the country. But on account of his intense feeling for loving his country, he was hanged. Because the law, he disobeyed the government law. Just try to understand. Similarly, if we disobey the supreme government law, that is called dharma. Dharma means the supreme government law. Dharma to sakshat bhagavat pradip. Dharma means, and what is that dharma? Like Krishna says, it is a very simple thing. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam. Real religion is to surrender to Krishna or God. That is real religion. Without that point, all religions, they are cheating. Dharma projita koitava tra, Srimad Bhagavad begins. Cheating. If there is no love of God, that is not simply some ritualistic formula. That is not religion. Just like Hindus go as a ritualistic form is to temple, or the Muslim go to the mosque, or the Christian go to the church. But they have no love for God, simply official. Because they have to stamp themselves with some religious mark. I belong to Hindu religion, I belong to Christian religion. That is only for fighting. That's all. Because there is no love. If you are religious, that means you must be God conscious. So if you are God conscious, if I am God conscious, what is the cause of fighting? So that point that we see. Therefore such kind of religion is cheating religion, because there is no love. The first thing is that we have to learn how to love. Sabari pumsang paro dharma, that is first class religion. Religious system to follow. Jato bhakti radho khaji. If you know how to love, adho khaji. When there is question of love, then the next question will be, whom shall I love? Therefore, Krishna's another name is Adhokhaja. Adhokhaja means beyond your sense perception. Here we love something which is within the category, within the jurisdiction of my sense perception. I love a girl or a boy or somebody, my country, my society, my dog, everything. But that is within the jurisdiction of your sense perception. But God is beyond your sense perception. And yet still you have to love. And that is religion. God is beyond sense perception. But if you love, although He is beyond your sense perception, then you will realize God. Sevanmukhi hi jivadu samavuspa. Just like we are worshipping a Radha Krishna. Those who are not lover of Krishna, they will think that this foolish person, they have brought a doll made of marble and they are simply wasting their time. You see? Because he has no love. He has no love. Therefore, he cannot appreciate this worship of Krishna for want of love. And one who is lover of Krishna, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as soon as he entered the temple of Jagadha, here is my Lord, he immediately went. So, what is the difference between that is the difference. A lover of God, he can see everywhere God is present. Premanjana charita bhakti vidochadena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vidopaya. If you are actually lover of God, then you will see God in every step. Every step. Just like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, when he was being attacked by his father, he was looking over the column, pillar, and the father thought that his God might be there at the pillar. So he immediately, is your God in this pillar? Yes, my father. Immediately broke. To keep the words of his devotee, God came out. So, appearance and disappearance of God is for the devotee. Paritrana sadhunam vinasaya duskita. God comes for two business, to give protection to the devotee and to kill the demons. So for killing the demons, he does not require to come. He has got immense power. Simply by his indication, any person can be killed. There is sufficient power, Durga Devi. But he comes for his devotee, because his devotee is very much anxious. He is always seeking protection of the Supreme. So because the devotee will be satisfied by seeing him, therefore he comes. That is it. Because this devotee is always feeling separation, just to give him belief, incarnation of God comes. Pralaya parati jali ditavadati vedam. Divine incarnation comes, just to give belief to the devotee. Otherwise he has no business. There, in India, there is a class of Hindu. They call so, but actually they are known as Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj. The Arya Samaj's opinion is why God should come. He is so great, why he should come here? The incarnation they do not believe. The Muslims also, they do not believe incarnation. They also place the same plea, why God should come, why he should appear like a human being. But they do not know, neither they can answer this question, why God should not come. They say the God cannot come. But if I put the question, why God cannot come? What is the answer? If God is all powerful, why you are curtailing this power that he cannot come? What kind of God is? God is under your law or you are under God's law? So this is the difference between lover of God and the demons. The demons cannot think. They think that maybe there is some God. He must be very formless. Because he has got the experience of this form, limited. So therefore Mayavadi philosopher says that when God comes, the impersonal, he takes the form of Maya. That is called Mayavadi. They actually do not believe in God. Impersonalism, Sunnavad, Nirvishesha Sunnavadi. Some of them are Nirvishesha. Yes, there may be God, but he has no form. And Mayavadi, both of them are Mayavadi, Sunnavadi. The Buddhists and the Shankarites, they do not believe. But we, Vaishnava, we know how the atheists are cheated. Sanmohaya Suradvisham, Lord Buddha came to cheat the atheist. The atheists do not believe in God. So Lord Buddha said, yes, you are right, there is no God. But you just try to hear me, but he is God. So this is cheating. You don't believe in God, but believe in me. Yes, sir, I shall believe. And we know that he is God. He is Savadhita Buddha Sarira Jaya Jagadisha. You see, so sometimes cheating is required for the less intelligent class of man. But we are not cheating. We are very simple. Why should we cheat? Krishna said, Manvana bhava mad bhakta mad jati mang namaskuru. So, we say, please come here. Here is Krishna. And you simply think of him. What is the difficulty? Here is Radha Krishna, and if you daily see, naturally you will have impression within your mind about Radha and Krishna. So at any place, anywhere you can think of Radha and Krishna. What is the difficulty? Manvana. You chant Hare Krishna. As soon as you chant Krishna, immediately you remember the form of Krishna in the temple, Nam Roop. Then you are hearing about Krishna, you remember about his qualities, his activities, Nam, Guna, Roop, Lila, Parikar, Vaishnav. In this way, this you can practice. What is the difficulty? This is the beginning of practice. Actually Krishna is there. But because I have no eyes to see Krishna, I am thinking, where is Krishna? It is a stone statue. But he does not know the stone is also Krishna. Stone is also Krishna, water is also Krishna, earth is also Krishna, air is also Krishna. Without Krishna, there is no other existence. That the devotee can see. Therefore, whenever he sees stone, he sees Krishna. Here the atheist will say that you are worshipping stone, but they are not worshipping stone, they are worshipping Krishna, because they know that there is nothing else except Krishna. Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilocha. That stage we have to arrive. How you can say stone is not Krishna? Krishna says, you have to understand, Krishna, as Krishna says, the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhamairapanala Vayu, Bhamamana Buddhireva cha, Vindame Prakriti Astadha, their mind, just like I am speaking, it is being recorded, and will replay, the same sound will come, and he'll know that here is our spiritual master. But I am not there. This sound is now different from me. Bhinna. Bhinna means separated. But as soon as the record is played, everyone will know here is Bhaktivedanta Manor. It will know. So that requires education. That Krishna Sevan Mukhi Jivadu Same Vaspurabhya. So our process is very simple. Simply engage your tongue. Leave aside all other senses. The tongue is very strong. And tongue is our bitterest enemy. And tongue can be your most intimate friend. This tongue. Therefore the Shastra says that Sevanmukhi hi jivadu, just engage your tongue in the service of the Lord and he will be revealed. Very nice. Now what we do with the tongue? We talk of Krishna. We sing, chant of Krishna. We eat, taste. I eat Krishna Prasad. You will understand Krishna. Any foolish person, any uneducated or any position of life, you can use your tongue for Krishna's service. Don't eat anything which is not eaten by Krishna. Your tongue becomes your most intimate friend. And don't talk anything except Krishna. If you follow these two principles, Krishna is within your grip. Thank you very much.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. So today's verse number 44 from 14th chapter, first canto. And the backstory, you know that Arjun went to Dwarka and then he comes back and then he discusses about his experience. And Yudhishthira Maharaj shows here the great power of the devotee. The devotee can like foresee the future. Similarly, when Prabhupada was in the New York in the early days, he was sitting in the garden, and the famous story, as we know, the sitting on the bench, and one gentleman came, and he says, Swamiji, what are you doing here? And he said, I came here for for the instructions to fulfill instruction of my spiritual master, and there are so many devotees around the world, so many temples, but just time separates us. So, yeah, this is Prabhupada. So first thing Prabhupada mentioned about the sign of devotees, if anyone remember, what are the signs of devotee? Yeah.
He always thinks that I have no love for Krishna, because if I would have any love for Krishna, I would have not been able to live my life.
Yeah, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. But there is like one specific word that Prabhupada used. Separation, exactly. So devotee, they cannot tolerate separation from Krishna. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his humility, he says this thing when devotees around him ask like, Mahaprabhu, why are you crying? And Mahaprabhu said that, I don't have love for Krishna. And then Mahaprabhu said, I'm crying to make a show. So this is Mahaprabhu. And then Prabhupada mentioned the meaning of love after talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and mentioned two verses from Sri Chaitanya Shishtastakam. Would you like to repeat those two verses, last two verses? No. Aslishchiva padarakam pinastumam adarshanam varmahatam karotuvam yatha tatha vada tatha tulam pato mat prananathastu saven paraha. And another verse, chigaitam nimeshena chakshusha prayashaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahename. And from this topic, Prabhupada says that how we can also try to exhibit this love in our life by worshipping deity. Then Prabhupada moves on the deity worship topic, and we worship in the mood of, not Vrindavan mood, but yeah, Lakshmi Narayan, which is out of awe and reverence. I had this question actually, like when I was like completely new in ISKCON, and then I was thinking like I'm reading something else and we're doing something else, like why there is gap? But Prabhupada clears it that we worship, and this is how the process to go to Raganuga Bhakti. Then Prabhupada mentioned the Vrindavan's position. Does anyone remember? Prabhupada says something, special line, Vrindavan worship. Yeah.
The love is spontaneous.
Love is spontaneous, and they don't worship Krishna in Vrindavan.
It's God.
And what is that? That's heart's. That's what? That's heart's business in Vrindavan. So, yeah, and then Prabhupada begins talking about friendship. And then, as we know, in Sanskrit language, there are different terms for friends, which is Bandhu, Atma Bandhu, Suhrit. But you know what's the difference between all these three levels? Could be many levels, but there is like one set. In English, like we have one word, friend. But in Sanskrit, like Bandhu, Atma Bandhu, Suhrit, Mitra, Sakha, Sathi, so many things. Sorry? Level of intimacy, yeah. Degree, like how much like we have friends, some friends for Kirtan Mela, some friends for reciting verses, some friends for retreats. So these are like degree. So degree is the main cause. And another final important words in friendship is suhrud. Prabhupada used this word. And how does the suhrud, those who are suhrud to you, how do they deal with you? Prabhupada says that. Any return, yeah, they don't accept anything in return. And when you read Bhagavad Gita, there are Prabhupada mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita, and 2 places we have word suhrut. If you can remember those 2 verses, so there are 2 verses.
Suradam sarvabhutanam yatvamam shanti vrichati.
And another one? Is it from Bhagavad Gita? Okay, maybe I don't know. Third one, yeah.
Okay, no, you recite that.
No, I don't know this verse. There is another verse which was.
This Krishna tells that you should be equal with friends, enemies, sadhu, asadhu, like that. Okay. 6.9, I think.
6.9, okay, I remember. But another place where Krishna uses this word is Gati Bharta Prabhur Sakshi Nivasa Sharanam Suhrut. So, Krishna is Suhrut. Next thing is, this is, Krishna was always thinking about Arjuna, and then Prabhupada mentioned this verse, Sadhava Vridayam Mahyam. Would you like to repeat the full verse?
Sadhava hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham mad anyattena jananti naham tebhyo manangapi. Sorry, I mixed 2 verses? I think this is
I just
right.
know sadhu was. Yeah, but anyway. And next point Prabhupada mentioned, that was very interesting, that if we think still I can't understand this point. Prabhupada says this is how spirituality is beyond logic, beyond senses. Prabhupada says that when we remember Krishna for 24 hours and he thinks of us for 26 hours. So this is something beyond the clock time. Then different platform of love when somebody is loving. So sometimes we love our partner, spouse, family, society, nation. So Prabhupada says this thing, but what's the ultimate point of love? Then Prabhupada says, what's the ultimate point of love? First canto, verse, chapter number 2. Famous verse. Savai pumsa paro dharma, to bhakti adokshaje, to apratihata, to give our suprasiddhati, to give our unconditional love to Krishna. Next, Prabhupada talking about dharma. What does dharma mean? Supreme government. You close? Characteristics. This is what Prabhupada used. Characteristics. And then Prabhupada gives the example of water. How water under different situation, sometimes cold, hot. So when there is a cold, becomes ice. So this is how we get conditioned in this world. Different situation, under the different modes, we change our position, we change our post, but our eternal position is to be servant of Krishna. So this is what Prabhupada highlights here. And then Prabhupada says, the whole world is unhappy. This is heavy. This is only founder Acharya can say. Because we become hard-hearted towards Krishna and hard-hearted to other living entities. And especially he mentions about animals. Famous statement that why there is a war in the world, because people are killing animals. And it does make sense because karma, what goes around comes around. Business of Vaishnavas, famous verse. Business of Vaishnavas. Panchakalpatarupascha. Patinam pavanabhya Vaishnavabhya namo namah. And Vaishnavas are famous and well known for sympathy. And Prabhupada used the special word called sympathizer. And Vaishnava always carries the message of God. And what was the message for the living entities? Prabhupada begins with that, my dear friends. My dear friends, you are suffering because of forgetting the real lover. So this message we carry all the time. Then Prabhupada mentioned about this false lover. Anyone remember? False lover of country, end up with the disobedient. Yeah, would you like to share? the whole
Say-
analogy, if you can.
Yeah, Prabhupada was saying that if somebody says that I'm lover of the country, but I don't abide by the laws of the government,
Yeah.
I'll be hanged. So similarly, if somebody says that they love God but don't abide by dharma, so they'll be punished.
Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing.
Right, yeah. So disobedience, like Prabhupada mentioned in the revolution, we have like in almost all of the countries they have revolution, and revolution, those who are like fighters, they got hanged and they lose their life, even though they give whole life to the country. Sometimes this statement can be offensive to others, but this is the reality. This is Bhagavatam. But the point is, similarly, we have Krishna's law, which is dharma, and there is a verse, dharmam. I think Prabhupada mentioned this verse, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So, what is dharma? So, dharma is whatever Krishna speaks. That's dharma. And the famous example was Yudhishthir Maharaj, when Yudhishthir Maharaj was refrained to accept Krishna's word about Ashwatthama. Krishna says that, yeah, just tell Ashwatthama is dead. But Yudhishthir Maharaj was not sure, and when he spoke, Ashwatthama is dead. And then afterward he spoke Narova Kunjarova, that I don't know, he's man or animal or elephant. So when Yudhishthir Maharaj did these things, so his chariot was like 1 foot higher than the ground, because he was like a dharma parayana, because he was like really strict to his vows, strict to his dharma. So because of this reason, his chariot was like floating in the air. But when he spoke these words, that Narova Kunjarva and Ashwatthama is dead, so based on Krishna's dharma, this was wrong. That's why his chariot was fell down on the chariot on the ground. So whatever Krishna says, that's dharma. That's the point. What's the real religion? Prabhupada mentioned this thing. The real religion is love, and not ritualistic. And this is where Prabhupada begins the 3 acronyms. So Prabhupada, you can see like Acharya of acronyms. So Prabhupada used 3 acronyms from us. People usually from all the religion, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, they go to church because of? Out of ritualistic. Yeah, just to make sure, yeah. Not out of love, but just to make it as like a simply official. Prabhupada used this word, simply official. And then say, because why they are doing so? They don't feel love, but what Prabhupada says about that? Because they have to connect close, they have to stamp themselves with something. So first one was simply official, second one was stamp, and third one was, because people stamp themselves with the religion, what's the result? Simply fighting. So this is the result when we do something out of ritual and not out of love. So many things. Time. Okay, let me just to conclusion. So final, and Prabhupada ends the whole class with the Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskaro, by thinking, by remembering Krishna. How do we remember Krishna? By his holy name, by taking darshan. And when we chant holy name, Anama, Guna, Rupa, all these things come in line. And then another point mentioned from this verse, Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet prahya indriyad sevan mukhe jihvado swayam eva spuratyada. And we can engage our tongue in these 2 activities, which is eating Krishna Prasad, talking only of Krishna, don't talk anything else, Prabhupada said, and Krishna Prasad. So thank you so much. It's 8:30. If you have a couple of questions we can take, or realization, or no. Okay, maybe senior devotees can help.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the summary. In the class, Prabhupada mentioned, whom shall I love? And then he says we love someone within the category or jurisdiction of our senses. And then Prabhupada mentions how Krishna is adokshaja, beyond the sense perception. So can you maybe like expand on this? Like how we have to love Krishna, but he's beyond our sense perception.
Yeah, when we love someone, so basically our love is materialistic love. That means the bodily connection. We see someone through our eyes, we touch someone through our skin. So that's why our love is not Adokshajay, but when there's like our love, the soul's love, that's for Krishna, which is transcendental. So I hope it helps. Yes, Mataji.
And what I thought about this point about understanding Krishna or loving Krishna with our senses, Prabhupada was trying to make the point that we have to purify our senses because we can't perceive Krishna with our material senses, but when we purify our senses by the process of devotional service, then we can perceive Krishna and love him.
Yeah, purification is the essence. I think Keshav Maharaj also yesterday mentioned that how we can go from informed bhakti to emotional bhakti, which is purification. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram